Whoa! We've got a Jasper on my face. How's it going? That could be misconstrued really horrendously, couldn't it? I left the old Jasper image up there. How are we all doing, ladies and gents? It is Monday. I'm here in my lovely Mike Tyson hoodie that I like to rock sometimes. How are we all doing? We're all right? Where are we all in the world? I see one person posing the question, is there anyone on here from the States that ordered Black Fields? They all go out this week. So they're being picked up Wednesday or Thursday, and then they begin actually being posted from Friday. So no one's going to receive anything just yet. I can assure you they are going out this week. They begin to go out this week. They need to be gone in between 50 to 70 postages a day. So they will probably finish being posted as of next week. That's why I literally said it's a first come, first served situation. Hopefully that clears up what potential question you were going to have, because I hazard a guess that's probably what it is. And that's part of the problem of doing a pre-order, is that there needs to be that kind of delay. On the website, it does say like expected delivery date, like a month to 2 months or something like that. It should have been anyway. That was the aim. But yeah, so that's going out. They are going out. Hopefully that kind of clears that up. BW says, I'm really sorry. H would have loved to buy your Blu-ray. I'm broke. No worries. Don't you worry about it. It's really not a big deal. Yeah, honestly, not a big deal at all. I'm looking awfully tired here, aren't I? So, John Davies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mr. H's birthday week. Yeah, that's true. So we're not actually streaming on Friday this week. Now, if you don't know, if you're new to what I do here, well, one, where have you been? I live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Normally, Thursday, I will be streaming because Friday, it is my actual birthday. This isn't like a fake YouTuber birthday. That is my actual birthday on Friday, which means I will not be online Friday night. I'll still be releasing videos in the daytime, mind you, but come Friday night, I will be not streaming. So I am going to be doing my live stream, which would normally be on Friday, on the Thursday. And because I'm making up for the member call-ins, which I didn't do on Friday because I was actually really sick. And just an update on that, I had the biggest fucking lymph node come up in shock horror in my groin area, not pertaining to my groin, but pertaining to my blisters. So I had a whole bunch of blisters on my feet. I had some really, really big blood blisters and just some other blisters because I run 6.5K a day, and it just got the better of my feet basically. But they got infected, and then I felt rough as shit. So that's why I couldn't stay on and do the member call-ins on Friday, because I just felt awful, and it really, really was awful. When it's had a lymph node come up, especially in their groin region, you'll know how painful it is. Super painful, super nasty. And you say groin, and people are like, "Oh, you've got like something." Don't be a child. The lymphatic system is all interconnected, so it just came up. It was not good. It was not good. So what we're going to be talking about today, ladies and gents, whilst we wait for people to drop in, is an article about Gina Carano being uncancelled. I got sent this quite a lot, and I thought this was interesting, and I thought it was worth a stream. Basically, I thought it was worth a stream. I thought it was worth talking about and going over. I don't think there's much to it. I'll just say from the off. But I thought we would go through the article itself and just have a good look at it. But I hope you're all right. I hope you're all good. I hope you're having a good start to the week. Good Monday. I myself am exhausted. Very, very tired, man. I don't even know why. I know I do know why. Sorry. I had to wake up at 6:30 to take Jasper to get his hair cut. So Jasper is a swish little boy at the moment. Do you want to come say hello? He's not very happy with me. He doesn't like getting his hair cut. He's pretty pissed at the moment. But yeah, I had to wake up early for that. And then I had to do all my normal stuff like workout, the running, all that kind of nonsense. Henry Ford, here we go. Mr. H, on your other channel, Car Nonsense, you and Nick have a great dynamic. Nick is a natural in front of the camera. That is really, really nice of you to say. If you didn't know, ladies and gents, I have a second channel. Please do subscribe to it. It's a car channel. Nick was actually really, really nervous. So if you go back to the original videos that we did on that channel, I had to take over quite a lot. And a lot of people were like, oh, you just keep talking over him. Like, I had to do that because he was quite nervous in front of the camera. He wasn't quite sure of what to do or say. So he'll be really happy when I pass that message on to him. So thank you for that. I'm sure he will be really, really happy with that, to be fair. And I'm glad you guys like it. I'm glad there are some people that like that channel. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a second channel. I've just linked it in the chat. I'll link it again because why not? Where I talk about cars. I review cars. I rebuild cars. I'm rebuilding a Nissan Pulsar GTIR at the moment, which I'm really, really happy with. It's an awesome little project. If you know anything about cars, and I say that name, the Nissan Pulsar GTIR or the Nissan Sunny GTIR, but your ears should like prick up and you should go, what? Sorry, what, you have one of them? Because it's a Group A rally homologation special. It's pretty awesome. But I digress. Those people watching this back are probably like, mate, you're like 7 minutes in and you're not spoken about the topic. I know, ladies and gents, I need to wait for more and more people to join the live stream. That's why I ramble a little bit at the start of these videos. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense now. Also, just as a side note, before we do dive into it, because we are going to dive into it, who here has brought this epic Clown World merch? Like, hands up, who has? Because it's on my Teespring store. You get this design, obviously as a PNG without the stars, on the front of hoodies, t-shirts, and then you get this epic Clown World stuff on the back of the hoodies and t-shirts. Who has brought one? Who's brought the mug? Because I myself actually have my own mug from this line of merch that I had designed. Please do pick one up. Great way to support the channel. Great way to rock the fact that you acknowledge we live in a fucking clown world. So grab one. Right. Okay. Shall we talk about this, ladies and gents? Shall we talk about this? Now, a few things to get out of the way, because this is really important to note, and this is not... I don't think it doesn't... We'll just dive into it. Oh, sounds like I'm farting, but I'm not. It's actually my chair squeaking. We'll move that out of the way. We don't want any rude interruptions from my chair, although it's a valued member of the channel these days. So what we're going to look at is this, right? Gina Carano uncancelled. Fucking stupid chair. Now this is an article. I'm so professional, aren't I? This is an article over on Pirates and Princesses. Now this is a website that is owned and run actually by Clownfish TV. Just for complete transparency's sake anyway. So anything that they do or say over here is very much... Well, I mean, a lot of it is just, well, self-promotion, really, I guess you could say. Goddamn, so many adverts. Fuck me. Go away. Right, anyway. Let's dive into this. Right. So the whole thing is, it's Gina Carano is uncancelled. Now, I say from the top, I don't think that this is the case. I genuinely don't at all. I just don't. But that's the topic. Right? Is she actually uncancelled? Let's dive into it. Let's see what they say. And we can see whether there's any merit to it. David Raposo says, is that a water cooler tower? It's very silent. It is a water cooled tower. And it is silent. It literally makes no noise at all. If you're new here, these are my live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If you're not new here and you have been joining, please do become a member. I think you'll enjoy being a member. Right. So back when Gina Carano was ceremoniously denounced by Lucasfilm in an anonymous trade publication statement, then fired from the company and The Mandalorian, things were taken to the next level. For example, not only did they fire the actress who refused to put her preferred pronouns in her Twitter bio, but they also tried to cancel every toy that reflected her character. They even went so far as to cancel the release of an episode of Running Wild with Bear Grylls that featured Gina Carano. Talk about deleting someone from the industry. And like, we can all agree with that. Like they did, right? They did do a lot of that. And it was pretty quick off the bat. bye-bye, see you later. It was pretty... it was like John Wick being excommunicated. Like, you've been excommunicated, you got 10 minutes leeway before you're shot and you're dead. Like, bye-bye. It was pretty mental, to be honest. Now, the article continues and says, but the backlash was intense. And now it seems that Hollywood is walking back some of their positions on Gina Carano. I firmly disagree with all of this. I really do. Just yesterday, the owner and editor of this website, Pirates and Princesses, and also one of the ones who runs Clownfish TV, discovered Walmart was selling Gina Carano, Cara Dune, Star Wars merchandise. Now, this would have been a different license. So these things here is nothing to get excited about. This is a different kind of license that would have been going out there. I mean, if especially if it's like a Walmart thing, if it's like a Walmart sort of license, there is so much. Like, for instance, in the UK, right, Tesco, a relatively big chain store, Tesco, is selling branded, licensed Star Wars merch. They literally just say, yeah, do whatever you want. And then they just go off and do whatever they want because they're trying to get as much money as possible. They don't really go in there and go, well, what are you actually making? Because it's inconsequential to them. They don't actually care. It's not like the big Hasbro deal, for instance, that they can just go, nope, cut that immediately. It's a different kind of deal. It's very small. They don't really give that much of a shit about it. So it's important to differentiate the merchandise, the different type of licenses that they send out there. This one, not actually that important to them. They don't actually care. Hence why Gina Carano is being made into what can only be described as, I mean, it looks like the Putty Patrol from fucking Power Rangers. Look at the face on it. Look at that. It's supposed to be that. Like, are you high? Like, are you for real? This, ladies and gents, is supposed to be that. So no, this is not something that they care about at all. Hence why it looks like complete trash. So yeah. But then we hear this, right? Your Running Wild journey was an incredible one too. It would have been so sad not to get to hear your powerful story of many struggles, many triumphs, because this is the founding of this entire article of Gina Carano not being cancelled. Now, Nat Geo, a subsidiary of Disney, because Disney bought them, is choosing to run Bear Grylls episode. That's it. That's literally it. That is what makes her now uncancelled. A shitty, crappy merchandise. This, literally Putty Patrol, Mr. Potato Head level quality. And the Nat Geo Bear Grylls episode. Yeah, that's nothing really, is it? Let's be honest. It's nothing at all. Let's have a look at this anyway. Like, people here. What's this? Walmart is so big, though. I'm pretty sure they just do what they want. Yeah, true. Hasbro cancelled all Gina Carano figures, so it's probably old stock from out back that they had in store. Walmart lost exclusivity on figures, thankfully, years ago. I'd assume old stock. Very true as well. And a great point as well. Model T101 says that's the retro line from Hasbro. But then Cutting John Davies says it's actually the Kenner toys, not Hasbro. Yeah. I mean, it's not really founding for it to be uncancelled, is it? Erin Editor says she is too conservative. They can't accept other views. Yeah, I would agree with that as well, to be fair. I would agree with that. If you want to join in the conversation, ladies and gents, please use the super chat function. Would appreciate that. We will drop in with a guest, actually, momentarily, ladies and gents. So we will have our usual guest here on a Monday, who hasn't actually been here as a usual guest on a Monday, because I haven't been having anyone here on a Monday. It will stay for a short amount of time, though, ladies and gents, because we will be having to do member call-ins today as well. But joining us momentarily will be Andre. So please do support the channel, join the conversation, let me know your personal thoughts by using the super chat function, especially if you want to talk to both me and Andre here in un momento. So yeah, here we go. It is Andre, how are we doing, good sir?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. Actually. I am very
Glad
good.
to hear it.
What's new with you?
Pretty much same old. Working loads, mostly on YouTube, setting up Midnight's Edge Espanol, the Spanish channel here next week. So loads of behind the stuff work on that, like creating new content and everything like that. So yeah, it's all good. Keeping busy.
So have you heard about this? Gina Carano uncancelled. I've firmly stated from the off it's total bollocks. But I'd like your opinion anyway.
I wouldn't say that she is uncancelled just yet. However, I do find this extremely interesting because two things has happened.
This figure, heavily likely to be old stock, as people have pointed out. So this is nothing at Walmart, old stock from out the back. Nah. Especially if Walmart have bought them, Disney are not going to buy the old stock back.
Well, I don't even care about that.
Go out there. You care about this? This isn't that important. Nat Geo showing one episode. I wouldn't say that's that important either.
No, but here's the thing, that this was an episode that they pulled, and now suddenly it's
not officially. They didn't officially pull it. They just didn't show on the listing of the upcoming episodes. There wasn't official pulling. They didn't make an official announcement. So as far as they're concerned,
no, this is
PR,
true. It was
right?
Well, everyone still knows, and everyone definitely.
Again, but not everyone. Only us. Normies have no idea. So if they made an official announcement, it would be out there more and more. But people actually looking for it, like us, we're the ones that actually know. And this is what I mean. And
they are the ones that they care about, like, because the normies, they're like there in the background, but they actually do pay attention to some of the noise and chatter. And among the noise and the chatter and complaints and everything that they actually did get, among them was them pulling this episode. Then it doesn't matter what the normies knew or didn't know. If they get like 200 emails complaining about it, that actually does make an impact. They'll hear that noise. And this thing right here, her tweeting it, him retweeting it, this to me is some kind of public walkback, actually. And also, what else happened in the world of Star Wars last week was that after campaigning for it for the better part of a year now, the writer, whose name escapes me right now, which is really freaking embarrassing because I've actually spoken to him on my own channel.
Oh, dreadful!
But he got paid last week. The writer who
you're talking about Alan Dean Foster, mate.
Yes, Alan Dean Foster. Yeah, they paid him last week too.
But that's a legality. That's got no, how are you linking the two here?
I'm not saying that one necessarily have to do anything with the other, but it does appear
because he's legally owned that. He was legally owed all of that.
And they tried to, and they still tried to screw him over, and it was really, really petty. And according to Van Skyver, he was never going to get that money. That they were going to try to wriggle out of it. But now they've walked back on that. They've paid him, but again, this thing alone wouldn't mean so much. But there are indications that something is happening behind the scenes, because just 2 weeks ago we also had this fake leak that we were told comes straight from Lucasfilm. This leak that was dropped on Reddit, where they went through in bullet points that, Kathleen Kennedy, she did nothing wrong. Everything she did was perfect, and she's great friends with Jon Favreau, and PR spin that no one bought whatsoever. And the real bad guy here is Pablo Hidalgo. We had Kamran Pasha, who is come on to Midnight's Edge, and he is someone that knows Disney. He's worked for Disney as a showrunner, and according to him, that leak was a very clear sign that something is happening behind the scenes. Someone is trying to get a narrative out there. They're just not very smart about it, and how this all can be traced back to the article in Forbes, in which they launched a full frontal attack on Bob Chapek himself, calling him out for mismanagement over the whole Gina Carano situation. Now, I'm not going to pretend to sit here and know exactly what's going on, But I do think that something is happening behind the scenes. I won't speculate as to what it is, but something is going on, because this is a public thing. Like, you're right, they didn't officially go out and announce that we're pulling this episode. It happened like closed in quiet. They just quietly pulled it without making a huge statement about it. It was just
there wasn't any official pulling. It was just it just wasn't shown on the list.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But that's like but even that's an unofficial pulling, because otherwise,
of course. But what I mean is that it's not something that anyone would actually notice in terms of, yes, like, of course, pay attention to. I'm aware that people, they do pay attention to individuals.
But
online.
Here they make a point of that it's back again. So this is someone. To me, this looks like someone is trying to make some kind of a statement here. Well, and I think it's significant.
But why do you say that? Because she tweeted it out and just Bear Grylls tweeted it. I assume you're now saying that Bear Grylls was told to retweet it, right?
No, I'm not saying that at all.
So, but what are you saying then? Because there's nothing public. The only public thing is Gina Carano tweeted it out, and then Bear Grylls retweeted it. So that is the only public thing.
Yeah.
So if you're saying that he wasn't told, and he wasn't thing,
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that he wasn't told not to.
Right.
He wasn't told not to retweet it. He is associating with someone that has basically been cancelled from the industry. And here he is publicly identifying with her. I'm not saying that he has been told to do that, but I am saying that he hasn't been told not to do that.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Again, I wouldn't say that's know what's going on.
To be uncancelled, then I just
no. That's pushing it way too far. I'm not saying that she's uncancelled, but what I'm saying is something is happening behind the scenes. I won't pretend to know what, but there is something that's happening there.
They got a shit ton of bad PR, so they're trying to walk back a tiny amount of it. But even that, like, it's not much. Like, you remember the episode's been shot, they've paid for it. They might as well run it at the very least, just because it costs them nothing. It's the same with it's the same with them putting out any movie that they've already greenlit, or say, like, when Disney bought Fox, there was a whole bunch of movies that were just sat there waiting to be released, right? They might as well release them because it doesn't cost them anything. It's a similar kind of thing here.
I disagree. That is a similar thing, because this is one episode of a series, of a season of a series that otherwise it's going to grow, be broadcast. And this was one episode featuring an actress whom Disney had very publicly parted ways with. That's a very good reason for them not to air that one episode. That has been shot and filmed, everything already. It doesn't really matter. I mean, it's not like that's going to bring in any money in its own right. It's one episode of a series that's for TV.
But it's also programming. It's what contracts Bear currently actually has with Nat Geo. What contract does he have? Does he have to get an X, Y, and Z amount of episodes out? Is he paid for X, Y, and Z amount of episodes? Were they in breach of a contract? There's actually quite a lot involved there that could.
Yeah, there absolutely is.
Surmise the thing this. Because
episodes are pulled all the time, and when that happens, they buy themselves out of those legalities.
But they're normally pulled from a show which is created internally. This is not a show created internally. This is a show where you're paying for someone to come on, do something very specific, quite unique, someone quite large in terms of his own sort of fan base anyway. He could walk away from Nat Geo quite comfortably and create another show elsewhere. I don't know even if he is actually the showrunner of this. I don't know what the situation is.
I don't know either. But what I do know is that unless he has said, you are to air this episode or I walk, either that, I'm not sure that he would do that, because normally, maybe he would, and if so, that changes everything. But I think it's more likely that if they wanted to not show the episode, they were like, okay, we're going to pay for everything.
He's an executive producer. He is an executive producer.
Yeah,
and it's actually his production company, Bear Grylls Ventures. So I actually would hazard a guess there's a little bit more to it than that. No one can actually tell him not to retweet someone. They could ask him, but they can't tell him. He is the production company behind this.
Yeah. But would he say that we are broadcasting this episode, or I will walk out of whatever deal that he has with Disney? I'll walk away from it unless you put up this one episode.
But it's his show; he could take it elsewhere. He might have already had an offer.
Yeah.
This is what I mean. Like, to jump in instantly, like this article has, and go, she's uncancelled just because of this. It's just pure nonsense. Like, it lacks all of the other background situation. That's what this article is about, basically. So that's why I'm saying, well, you know, realistically, if Bear Grylls has created this program, it's his production company. He is the executive producer. I mean, he can just take it anywhere he wants. I mean, it used to be with other companies, other distributors. He could just take it to another distributor if he wants to.
Yeah.
Because they are actually in breach of the contract. Again, let's say, for instance, the contract is it's this many seasons and this many episodes per season. At that point, they're actually in breach of the contract, and he can go, "Well, you've broken the contract. I can leave." And he might have even shopped it out. He might have just gone and shopped it out for a better deal.
He accepts being paid off for that breach, which can happen. Again, that I know nothing about.
But I'm running the potentials, obviously, in contrary to this article, which I'd say that's a pretty valid.
And I don't agree with this article that she's uncancelled, because I'm not saying that. Like, she's uncancelled the moment we get an announcement that she's been rehired for The Mandalorian. That's when she's uncancelled. That hasn't happened yet.
Oh, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So
that will never ever happen.
I don't think so either. So I'd completely disagree with the framing of the article. Completely disagree with that. And of course, you could be right that it really is just him that said, you're broadcasting this episode or I walk. It could be that, but this little thing in conjunction with the fake leak that was put out probably by Kathleen Kennedy's people at Lucasfilm, that and this episode now suddenly being back, that to me signals that something is going on behind the scenes. I don't know what. I'm not pretending to know what.
No.
And I'm certainly not pretending that she's uncancelled, but I think that there is some kind of shift behind the scenes there, especially giving just how much problems this has caused for them, because that Forbes article, which called out Bob Chapek by name for mismanagement of Disney over the Gina Carano situation, that is something that won't go away, because that's something that makes him look bad in the eyes of Disney's shareholders. And I don't mean the tiny ones, but the massive ones.
When was that article? What was it actually called?
I'll find it for you. It was like it was in February, I think. It was like a month after she was.
You're talking in March. Disney's firing of Gina Carano is confusing and hypocritical, lacking sound management.
Yeah, that's one.
So you do know that. So because again, the issue with Forbes is one of the other main issues I have with Forbes is that they just have contributors. They just have people. They just have day rates, that people that just come in and pay for an article. Basically, they just go, "Yep, we'll buy this article off you, whatever."
Yeah, and that article was paid for within Disney. That article came from Disney shareholders, were the ones that had organized that.
It's from Gene Del Vecchio, someone who covers Disney. Well, no, it covers a lot of stuff, to be fair.
Yeah, it covers a lot of stuff. I mean, this isn't Steve Mendelsohn. Steve Mendelsohn is a studio mouthpiece, so he's not Forbes. But this writer right here, he's something that Mendelsohn, the name that you usually associate with Forbes and entertainment news. Like Steve Mendelsohn, he's exactly that. He's a freelance. He basically could be writing for The Hollywood Reporter and Variety, because he serves that exact same function. When the Hollywood studios need a story or narrative put out there, then Steve Mendelsohn, he's one of the people that they will call, in addition to some other select people at The Hollywood Reporter and Variety. This guy, that's something else. This is not the usual people that wanted a narrative out there. That story, that was all about Disney investors sending a message.
Yeah. Real quick, we've got some super chats. Marshmallow says, I don't think it'll matter if she is or is not cancelled, as conservative voices are being silenced. Yes, true. Don't dispute that at all. I guess it's dependent as well where you go. The thing is that they're being silenced on mainstream stuff. If you create your own, then it's fine, and la. Richard Shepard says she's not uncancelled in the eyes of Disney, but she can go anywhere and do what she wants. This one show getting released is something that would have always happened at some point. It means nothing. Yeah, I mean, to me, like now understanding fully, the fact that Bear Grylls actually is the owner of that show effectively, because he's been partnering with different distributors and stuff like that. I don't think it's that much of a massive shock horror moment. Oh my God, she's uncancelled. It's like, no.
No, far from it.
It's probably just a breach of contract that he used as leverage to shop it elsewhere, to be fair, which why wouldn't he? He is a guy that is a businessman. He's made many a dollar a roo in the UK doing similar shows, and is now obviously pissed off to the States doing the same stuff. One Shot. Hey, Mr. H, I purchased one of your Blu-rays for Blackfields about a week ago. I've been a little out of the loop recently, excited to get it. I'm over in the States. Any idea when they will head out? So they are all going out this week. So they've been gone to the Blu-ray manufacturer to author, to be made, pressed, and they're being picked up this week, and then they start going out this week. We've just been waiting, basically. It takes a really long time to process all of these orders. Sadly, it's not skirting the responsibility of it. It's just a lot longer than I thought it would take, to be fair. So they go out this week. So 100% you'll get it soon. I can assure you of that. It's dependent when you ordered it as well, because they are first come, first serve. They will go out in the order that they've been purchased in. So that's why I literally said, if you want it quicker, you do need to get there quicker, because they go out in the order. I think that's about it, really, with this article, to be fair. I don't want to rabbit on about this nonsense.
There's not much else to say about it. I think that
it's not at all. I just think it's wishful thinking. It's very much like it's that headline SEO grabber. It's like, she's uncancelled. It's like, nah, she's not. She's really not.
No.
If you look into it,
far from it.
Not at all.
All I will say is I stand by. I think that something is happening behind the scenes, but there's a big difference between that and she's
stuff like that's been happening for ages. Yeah. I mean, that's just normal business structure. Like the power plays within a big business like Disney. The power plays between the subsidiary sort of umbrella companies and things like that, like Lucasfilm, who's vying for power here, who's vying for power there. Should we shift her out? Should we not? Blah blah blah. That's fairly standard. Like the leaking and things like that is what makes it more and more public, of course.
Yeah.
But power plays within, like, I mean, you've worked as businesses. I'm sure you've seen power plays at work as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I know how they're fought, because again, I come from a banking and finance background, and that's essentially what Hollywood is. So
yeah, it is absolutely is.
It absolutely is.
News soft, I think, or news off, no idea, or news of tea. There's so many things there. Evening all, I agree she's not uncancelled, but I do believe someone's trying to pour oil on the waves, be it Disney, Favreau, or whomever. Happy Alien Day, some new rumours of Hawley's series. No, there's no rumours yet, not that I'm aware of anyway. It's all been pretty quiet on that front, to be fair. Which is to be expected, because they announced it, but they weren't going to be putting it into production anytime soon. Have you? A side note, Andre, have you watched any of this Falcon and the Winter Soldier business? Because I've not, but the hype for it seems to be significantly lower than WandaVision.
I have made a decision not to watch it.
Because I couldn't be bothered either.
Yeah. To begin with, it was that I just couldn't be bothered. I had zero hype, zero excitement for it. And the more I've heard that maybe I'll get around to it, became, I don't want to watch this, so I'm not doing it. Like the only video that I'll do on it is detailing, this is why there will be no Falcon and Winter Soldier review.
So what's that then? Tell me. Give me a heads up on this video.
Yeah, sure. No, I don't know if I'll even make that. But what it'll be is basically because of how incredibly disappointed I was with WandaVision and how that ended. because of the general direction they seem to be going, because of the general concept of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I cared nothing for at all. Because of all that, I wasn't interested to begin with, and it was a chore to even begin watching it, which is why we didn't do it. And then now when the series is over, the reviews are in, and then I don't necessarily just mean reviews from the establishment media, but from people I know and trust, from the general movie-going audience. And the political messaging they seem to want to put in there is clear. It doesn't deserve my view.
What messaging? Because I've literally seen nothing about it. I've been oblivious to it all. I've been watching Invincible, which is absolutely epic. And loads of other things. So what was the political messaging?
Pro Antifa and pro BLM, basically. It's like pro rioting.
They're sort of setting that up for the Marvel's Alien comic at the moment as well. Pro Antifa. I think they're setting it up. It seems to be the sort of direction they're going down, but I don't quite know yet. That's garbage, mate. The Aliens comic is so bad at the moment. So bad. So bad. I don't know. Were you familiar with the Dark Horse Alien comics or not?
Yeah, of course, they were fantastic.
Well, they butchered them.
Everything that Alien, or sorry, that Dark Horse did, like back in the late 80s, early 90s, whether it be Alien, Predator, it was fantastic. It was like better than anything that Hollywood put out. And my thought when Marvel took back the comic book license was like much the same that reaction that you had, like, fuck, they're gonna butcher this, aren't they? Because with Conan, I wasn't as worried for one reason. They don't own Conan.
Yep.
Conan is something they just license. Every single issue has to be personally approved by Fredrik Malmberg. And he can say, nope, Conan wouldn't do that. Do it again, or I take the license back.
Yeah.
He's not under no obligation to review anything. So Conan will continue to be the badass he ever was. But that's because there's an external quality control. They outright own Alien now. They can do whatever the hell they want. So there's no quality control. There's no external party to work as a check or balance there. So I was very worried about the prospect of Marvel taking Alien back. I haven't seen the two comics that have come out so far. I got from you that the second one is like 19 pages or something ridiculous of story.
So it's 19 pages of actual story, because the rest of it is just cover, back cover, some weird like interim thing at the start as well. 19 pages of actual story, but then some of them are not actual story. Like some of it's just a page of art, and then that art's garbage because it's been traced. Or like one page of art, but one speech bubble, and you're like, oh my God, what are you doing? And it's just, I don't know. Shameful what they're doing. It's really not that good. And I just think back to the amazing. Yeah, I don't know. It's that whole like old man shaking his stick at someone. It's like, back in my day. That's what I feel like these days. I'm like, well, back in Dark Horse days, it was amazing. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, you know what? I've been like thinking that, like, maybe we should just own it, that we're bitter old men and we're screaming to the kids, get off my lawn.
Well, that's actually what it feels like these days. I'm like, music's crap these days. Back in my day, Alien comics are crap now. Back in my day, I even think that about some of the Dread comics these days as well. I was in the local newsagents and I just picked one up to have a quick flick through, and I was like, nah. I'm not buying this again. Like,
I've heard from a friend of mine who actually works in 2000 AD, so I'm not going to out him. But
I can probably guess, because it's actually a really small team. It's a team of about 5 people.
Okay, then I'm definitely not going to have anything. But apparently, it's no good there right now, and it's very ideologically driven editorial team apparently. So
it is the main editor is very much that, which sucks. To be
How the hell can like the guy owning that allow this to happen?
Well, yeah, it's interesting. Jason Kingsley really cares what people think. Like he really cares what people think, but he also, I think, he cares what the wrong people think as well, and people who don't consume things.
Yeah, there we go. So basically, he thinks that the people on Twitter are going to be so happy if we have the guy with this mindset.
Basically,
but then he's allowing 2000 AD and Judge Dredd and everything else to be destroyed by the weakest editorial team since when was that horrible period that it was like that time when they had Garth Ennis and the story still sucked because the editor sucked that time.
God, yeah, no idea now. When was that?
Let's see. It was after Necropolis in the comics. It was like a few years after that. It was
that the 90s?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mid 90s, I think, early 2000s. I can't remember.
Let's see. It was in the case files. It would have been, I don't know, like from like 16, 17 to like 20, something like thereabouts.
Yeah, okay. I'd say that's, I want to say mid 90s, 2000s, early 2000s. I don't know. It's just off.
No. It has to be early 90s because I remember that it got good again around 95 because that was when the Pit came out, and then it was like smooth sailing from there on out. So it must have been early 90s, I think.
Yeah. We've got some quick super chats to get to as well. And if you want to support the channel, ladies and gents, and also join the conversation, please use the super chat function. Would really appreciate that. Richard Shepherd for £5 says studios shouldn't be allowed to use popular stories as a vehicle for pushing an agenda. It's sad to see Hollywood sitting out. It's sad to see Hollywood sitting out BLM woke garbage. Do you mean shitting out? I think that's what you meant. I agree.
Only they had sat it out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. Sitting out. I don't think they quite sat that out. But yeah, no, you're completely right. But they won't ever stop doing things like that. And it's there's never an issue. I personally, I don't see an issue with a franchise that's always explored things like Star Trek. Right, shows it from a very humanist perspective, very apolitical, original stuff. Anyway, not the new stuff. I see no issue with that. I see no issue with them exploring race relations on a planet, for instance, you know, and that planet being racist and them not being racist and them going down there and teaching people not to be racist. That's fine. I think that's great. No issue with that at all. That's something which is perfectly understandable, perfectly reasonable. It's what they've always done as well. But just turning the whole show on its head. It's like Batwoman, for instance. Like the whole show, it is just an agenda. It's like it's not a superhero show anymore. So you change the core value of what the actual show is just to push the socio-political point of view, like the flavor of the week. Like, what can we talk about this week? Oh, it'll be ACAB. Like, whatever. It's just nonsense. Marshmallow for £25 says, "Oi, the old man with the walking stick is me. And my bucket list item is when I'm 90 years old, I'll still be chasing people around in slippers and a nightgown with a broom." Nightgown with a broom. Sound like a witch there, to be fair, mate. But yeah, all right. I'm not sure whether that's a good bucket list item, but yeah, I don't hate it. I'm not going to judge your bucket list, dude. I'm not going to judge it at all. Yeah. And interestingly, Bob Sav says, how is pushing political agendas beneficial to the story? I don't get it. So actually, with the example that I just gave in Star Trek, it's actually quite beneficial to the story, but that doesn't push an agenda. It teaches you an apolitical, utopian viewpoint of circumstances or, historical lessons.
If I may, what Star Trek did as its best was that it didn't push a political agenda. It pushed a humanist agenda. It pushed universal humanist values, and depending on nation and period of history, the universal humanist agenda that may align more with the party policies of one party more so than the other. But first and foremost, it's pushing humanism, and that's when you can't go wrong. The moment when you push a political agenda, that's when you go wrong, because then you push the will of a political party which is completely separated from anything humanist and anything common sense, but it's pure ideology. And that's when you're on shaky ground.
And it ages terribly as well.
Exactly.
Awful on the aging process.
And from what I have heard, from everyone I've heard watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you can see this in every single review there is that the series apparently seems schizophrenic in that it portrays like the Flag Smashers, the Antifa of the series. It portrays them as these horrible, evil terrorists, but at the same time, it tells you as the viewer, but these people are good people. They do good stuff, although they are, by all outwardly accounts, complete terrorists. But even like the Falcon or the new Captain America even apparently says so towards the end. Don't call those people terrorists, although that's literally exactly what they are. So yeah.
What?
But that's like the thing, because since you have a political agenda, what happens then is that you have to write something that is completely nonsensical and try to force it to be palpable for the audience. And in so doing, what comes out is schizophrenic and is gaslighting the audience. And that, from my reading of people's responses, is what has happened to Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's gaslighting the audience, and it's schizophrenic in its narrative.
Yeah, well, I'm glad I didn't watch it, to be fair. Richard Shepherd, member of the channel. You can become a member of the channel now, ladies and gents. Has dropped in and says, by the way, the old man waving his stick will soon be you. Happy birthday for Friday, old man. And I did mean shitting out. So yeah, we were right there with the slight correction. And yes, ladies and gents, it is actually my birthday on Friday. So I won't be streaming on Friday, but I will be streaming on Thursday instead. A special birthday stream just to sort of hang out. Talk some shit, I guess, as per the norm. But yeah, that's on Friday. Also, ladies and gents, just please do check out my second channel. It is a car channel. If you're interested in cars, and I say the Nissan Pulsar GTIR, your ears should prick up. You should go, oof, I know what that is. And if you don't know what that is, I seriously question how into cars you are, because that thing is a legendary beast. Well, it's a JDM beast, so I do appreciate a lot of people may not be aware of it in the States. But it's worth taking a look at. I'm rebuilding one on that channel, so head on over, subscribe, support me there. Would appreciate it. It would be awesome if I could get some of you guys over there and join that community, because we've got an awesome community over here. It'd be cool if you could, go over there and contribute to that. That'd be really cool. It's not just me either. I actually run that channel with a friend of mine. So it's not literally just not my dumbass face. There's another person's dumbass face on there. So what have you actually been watching at the moment, Andre? So
most recently, Mortal Kombat.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So what did you think? And what did you think of its box office total this weekend?
As for the movie itself, it's not without issues. It has some flaws, but I freaking loved it. It's one of my favorite movies this year. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and yes, give me a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe. The box office, it's like hard to judge the box office right now in these pandemic times, with like so many cinemas closed all over the place. But in light of that, the numbers appear to be very good, and word of mouth and the feedback from those watching it also appear to be really good.
It's quite divisive, I would say. Have you not? So when we did your stream, did you not see a bunch of people that like absolutely hated it? Have you not had?
Yeah. I've seen some people that still absolutely hate it, but I don't know how many they are. Like the impression that I get, at least. And again, this is going to be very like circumstantial, because I just assess from those around me. But of people around me that I would expect to like have complaints against it, they all felt much the same as me, that this was awesome. And then I registered that there are many people that very passionately dislike it and prefer the 95 movie, which is perfectly fine. And I understand that, but respectfully, I think that's a little bit of nostalgia talking. I think that's part of it, and also it took some liberty story-wise in making distance between it and the 95 movie, and in the process is also created distance from the story of the first game, which I think rubbed many people the wrong way. But still, my reading is that overall it's gone down exceedingly well, much better than I would certainly expect a Mortal Kombat movie to be rated. I would expect the majority of people to respond to it the same way that they responded to most video game movies the last few years, which is basically is crap. Moving on, and that's not the response at all.
Yeah, I think people have. I think what people have enjoyed, right? My understanding of it is, I think people have really enjoyed the fact that it's an adult R-rated movie, and it's not dark and dour. Like, it's adult comedy as well. You know, yes, there's a lot of fighting and there's blood and guts and shit like that, but you got Kano being, you know, very, very funny, comedic relief, and I think people have enjoyed that. And it was women that enjoyed it the most. They're rating it higher than men.
Funny as that.
Great. Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? Because Harley Quinn, people were like, "Oh, Harley Quinn, oh, men ruined it. You know, it's men's fault." Blah blah blah. It's like, no, women didn't go and watch your shit film. That's all that happened, you idiot. And then they come out and review Mortal Kombat higher than men do, and that's great. Like, I think that's awesome. If that isn't a message to Hollywood, stop pandering to fucking misandrists. Like, what is? Seriously, unbelievable. Just breaking away from the topic ever so slightly, we've got 2 super chats from Marshmallow, slightly off topic, but still poignant and worth saying and joining in the discussion as well. Marshmallow says he got diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia once. It's taken him a while to acknowledge that. And he says because of the stigma surrounding that particular condition and how people with it can be used as a scapegoat. That's interesting. I assume when you say you got diagnosed with it once, that's an actual diagnosis, as in that's what you have, rather than, I got diagnosed with it once, but they flippantly did that and diagnosed me with something else. I don't know, because it's kind of phrased like there's the potential for that, but I would assume probably not, if you're struggling to acknowledge it anyway. And yeah, like, stigma surrounding things is never good, is it? It's what... because isn't there some new, like, I don't know, gun control laws in the States or something like that encourages people who are like, I don't know, I don't want to get into it because I don't fully understand it, but there's something which is in the States which is only going to stigmatize people more and more or something like that. Stigmas are horrible. It's not what you want out of life. Just to it's prejudice, isn't it? At the end of the day, it's a stereotypical prejudice. So yeah, well, thank you for sharing that anyway, Marshmallow dude. Take some balls to share that. Valiant Renegade says, given that Demon Slayer paced Mortal Kombat with vastly less marketing and half the screens, Warner Brothers has to be upset. Same day releases on HBO are really hurting them. So this is worth an interesting discussion. Did you know that Demon Slayer opened to like 1,000? It was quite literally half the screens, about 1,500 odd, and Mortal Kombat opened domestically to like 3,070 odd theaters, which is still nothing. Like, they're still showing it absolutely nowhere, but that's all the theaters that are open, and they're still killing it. Like, especially Demon Slayer, like, did really, really well, considering it had basically no theaters being open. So what do you think that this says to HBO, streaming platforms, things like that? Because to me, it's a massive shout out to, you know, people just want to go back to the theater now. People are sick of it. Yes, you can still show it on streaming, but no, people do actually want to go out and go to the theater. That's what it says to me. But what do you think to that?
I think it says that there is a lot of money that's left on the table if they don't release in theaters, and the theatrical window probably could be shorter than what it has been the last few years. But if they go all streaming all the way, or day and date streaming and theatrical, they're going to leave a lot of theatrical box office money on the table, and that is the money that enables the massive blockbuster movies to be profitable. So that's the money that's being left on the floor. So that's something to take into account. What kind of movies do they want to make, and how do they want to scale them? Like, for instance, for something like, say, The Conjuring. They'll leave some money there, but that movie costs so little that it'll still be insanely profitable. But for something,
they keep making those big old piles of shite.
Yeah, but for something like Dune, for instance, that needs a massive theatrical release in order to be profitable.
I'm still really worried for that. I think that's it. That's the end of that series. It's done. I don't think that's going to continue now.
I haven't counted out just yet,
but the sigh says it all, Andre. You know I'm almost right. Yeah,
no,
the sigh said it all.
Not disputing that. Not disputing it at all.
It's a painful sigh. Oh dear. Dan Tucker says, my wife liked Mortal Kombat more than me. After seeing it twice, I like it even less, if I'm honest. To me, like I'm a one and done with that film. I really I was entertained, had a really good time with it. I wouldn't want to watch it again, not quickly. And if I did watch it again, I would watch it with someone who hasn't watched it, and I would drink beer. I think that would be a great experience, just to see how much they like it.
That I agree with completely.
Yeah. But I wouldn't run out to watch it again. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Dune, however many ways you can say this fucking name. Because do we understand? Do we know what deal Legendary have made with Warner Brothers to get that film out? Because I still am not 100% clear cut on that.
I don't think that they are clear cut on that. So we certainly cannot be expected to be.
I bet they're even more pissed now that Godzilla vs. Kong's done so well, because that's hit 400 million worldwide now. That's amazing.
That would have been, under normal circumstances, that would have been $1 billion movie probably.
Well, I think that's pushing it. I would say comfortably 700 million. I think it would have done. I think that would have been a pretty good amount, because the trajectory of the other movies weren't doing so well. Yeah. So for that, I think it would have done much better than the previous ones. I think that would have been, I think 700 million would have been a good one. Yeah. But they must be so pissed with that. And also really happy, but still so pissed as well.
And I think that's also something that's means that they'll probably be fighting over Dune right now. Yeah. That Legendary are going to be fighting for maybe even a further delay. Like I wouldn't even rule out that it could be delayed until next summer.
Yeah. Do you think it would do good in summer? There's a lot of movies coming out next year now that have obviously been delayed from this year. I don't think summer's a good spot for it. I'd say even like January, February, something like that. I think people will still be ready to go out, I reckon.
Yeah.
January, February.
Well, if January, they're going to put it, might as well do Christmas then. But I don't know. But I think that Legendary, they will be fighting very, very hard to get it into as many theaters as possible and to give it the widest theatrical window possible to make sure that they squeeze out every single box office dollar it is possible to squeeze out. And I think that they're probably having very heated debates about that right now.
I bet they're talking to their lawyers. Like, how do we get out of this distribution deal with these fuck nuggets, Warner Brothers?
Oh, I'm sure that the lawyers are having a field day with this. If anyone is guaranteed to make money on this whole situation, it's them.
Yeah. Royston Parker, member of the channel, actually says an interesting question to do with my second channel. Says, if that JDM Nissan Pulsar GTIR is ultra rare, how would car enthusiasts know about it, Mr. H? Well, I mean, it is ultra rare. They only made it between 10 to 14,000 worldwide. They made them for about 4 years, and they literally made them so they could compete in rally. I mean, it is rare. It doesn't mean that people won't know about it. especially if you're a car fan, like car fans tend to know about weird cars. I mean, like I know about the Lancia Delta Integrale. I've never seen one, but I know about them because I think they're bloody cool. You tend to sort of go into it with a lot of these things. So yes, it is ultra rare. There's currently only like 22 on the road in the UK. In fact, there's actually more of the Lancia Delta Integrale on the road in the UK, which is quite comical. But people do know about them for sure because it had a legendary engine, the best version of the engine, the SR20 DET. It's called the baby GTR for a reason. It's got the Atessa system out of the GTR, the all-wheel drive system. So people know about these things because they just do research, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know how I spotted it, to be fair. Maybe I came across it just on a weird car review one day. No idea. You just find stuff, don't you? Same with like comics and movies and things. If you like something, you tend to explore in that genre or that thing, and you just tend to find it out, don't you? Really. Marshmallow says Gran Turismo, my man. Was it Gran Turismo? I don't remember that, but all right, cool. But yeah, if you're interested in seeing the Nissan Pulsar GTIR, head on over to my second channel. Would appreciate that. That'd be really, really cool. We actually have the Latino Slant in the chat right now. There you go. That's your dude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Paulie. Nice to have you on. Hope you're well. He's going to be doing the Midnight's Edge
Espanol. Yes, indeed.
That'll be interesting to see how that does.
Yeah, we're looking greatly forward to that. So that's taking up quite a lot of time behind the scenes.
So what will that be then? Is it just your videos but translated into Espanol, or what?
No,
specific ones, or what?
It's going to be specific videos dubbed into Spanish. So that's one part of it. But in addition to that, there's also going to be live streams set up by Paulie. There's going to be interviews with talent from the Spanish-speaking world. There's going to be reviews, music shows, and showcasing a lot of the up-and-coming talent from there, both in music and on screen.
Yeah. All right. Well, that'd be interesting. I mean, intrigued to see how it does. To be fair,
cool thing to see how. So it'll be its own thing while under the Midnight's Edge branding, and with some of the select videos. The first one is going to be the Zorro retrospective. Will be one of the first ones to be published and translated.
Will you change any of the names? Would they be in Espanol, but would they be phrased differently because of that, or what? I don't understand.
Well, of course, like movie titles will obviously be like the Spanish movie titles. In addition, we went and we reworked it slightly because there have been so many Zorro adaptations. And when we made the original Zorro retrospective, we did a selection of productions to highlight, which was mostly from like American and European perspective. But you have like a number of Mexican Zorro productions as well. You had like this huge TV series that ran for 122 episodes that we just kind of like skipped in the original version. Whereas so now we have paid more attention to that in the Reduxed version for the Spanish market.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, I hate to break it here, but me and my community over here are experts on Spanish culture. We researched Latinx, and we now fully understand what that means. It's fantastic.
Yes, the Latinx is so popular in South America.
But do you know that anyone can say that they're
experts of it? Well, you evidently can.
No, well, yeah, you because it's the way that it was born. It was phrased. Mate, honestly, I fucking hate that term, and so does everyone else here as well. But it like you because it's a gender neutral term. But it encompasses people that have adopted the culture. So literally, I can just say I'm Latinx. I can just be like, no, I'm Latinx, mate.
Okay, fine.
That's the definition of it. Honestly, it's utter nonsense. We spent a good 20 minutes of a stream talking about it. It was crazy. Just people were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Honestly.
So basically, it means that if you identify as Latino in any way, shape, or form, you're Latinx. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah. No, basically, that is literally what it means. And not only that, right? I've got the definition back up because it was just so funny the first time. Latinx is a gender-neutral neologism, sometimes used to refer to people of Latin American cultural or ethnic identity.
Or those that decide
Latin
that
American
want to
cultural
be that
identity here. Yeah. I'm Latinx. Like, fucking such nonsense. The X suffix replaces the O and A ending of Latino and Latina that are typical of grammatical genders in Spanish. Its plural is Latinxes. So basically, it also assumes someone's gender. It also is basically bigotry to call someone Latinx because it removes the fact that they could be a Latina.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We spent a whole stream talking about it. It was genuinely quite funny. It's one of those things you had to be there for, but it was funny. It's funny as shit. Because we got Nikki, Latina here. We got I think it was Vincent Wolf, wasn't it, as well? Yes, it was. C Senor H, yes. So we spent a good 10, 20 minutes talking about it. It was very, very funny. I enjoyed it. It was a good laugh. Anyway. Oh dear. So if you want a new Latinx co-star for your Midnight's Edge Espanol, I'm Latinx, right? Cultural. Well, identify with the culture, so I can actually.
Well, we'll keep that in mind.
Honestly, such garbage. Slade Wilson says, I'm Puerto Rican. I fucking hate Latinx. Oh my God, Marshmallow, I give up on this world and it's gender bollocks. Whoa, that's assuming it's got bollocks as a gender. That's very bigoted of you.
Yeah, stop gendering the world.
On this clown world. Well, I think I've gendered it here a little bit. No, maybe not. There's little Jasper there. Oh, side note, ladies and gents. Jasper, he's got his hair cut. Jasper. Jasper. As you can see, my dog is massively responsive to me at the moment and is not at all really pissed off with me because I made him have a haircut. Side note, he's really, really annoyed with me for him getting a haircut. He's not happy. He's not happy at all. He's been sulking all day long.
I'll get over it.
I know he will. He'll be fine. Bless him. It needs to be done. It needs to be done because he gets too fluffy and all matted and stuff. Because as a breed, they get like a massive top coat. So not good. Oh dear, oh dear. I think that about sums up this part of the stream. I need to do my member call-ins now, actually.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Yeah, which is good fun. I enjoyed doing this. I had to miss out on Friday because I had to I had to leave. I was feeling very, very under the weather. It was not good. Not good at all. Sentinel Erin has just said this, though, which is interesting. Where is it? Not topic related, sorry, but did you see the Engineer Temple from in-game footage of Aliens Fire Team? I did not see that at all. Link me to it, please. I'd be keen to see that. I'd be very, very much pleased to see that. We got a little troll here.
Oh yeah, well, good times.
Lovely.
It's so funny when people think I'm MAGA. I'm not even American. So
yeah, I know. It's quite comical, but it's also, I think what's more comical about these idiots is the very, very quick terminology of you're far right or you're this and you're that. It's like, yeah, no. The assumption over someone's political views is very, very baffling. It seems to be the go-to tribalistic mentality of this day and age. I think it shows very big brain activity just to assume someone's politics, but then also assume that their politics makes them a bad person, even under the basis predicated on the basis that your assumption is correct, which is utter nonsense. So yeah, good times. Comrade Commissar Yuri says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how pissed is Jasper? Yeah, pretty annoyed. He's been fine. If we go out on a walk and stuff, he's been pretty happy. But I think what it is as well, it's around the house. He's now a little bit colder than he was before. So it's like if I get a haircut, you feel weird when you haven't had a haircut for a while and you get a haircut. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? Really. Nicky, I love when people are brave on a keyboard. Please tell Mr. H in person. He will fold you like a pretzel. Yeah, it's a pretty fair assumption, to be fair. And it is very comical as well, because I'm very honest about where I am when I go to events. No one ever turns up. It's funny that I'm like, oh, I'm here watching this. No one ever turns up. Big men behind keyboards. Marshmallow says Jasper is on a number 11 to be pissed. Games Re-Up says, love this channel, glad to see a guy with his head screwed up. Thanks so much. All this PC rubbish in the world right now, it'll disappear, be forgotten eventually, like all fads. PS, I think I love Gina. Send your love her way. I'm sure she would appreciate it. I'm sure she would, actually. She's very nice, like on Twitter with her retweets of things like that. She's quite a nice woman, it would appear. And yeah, hopefully, I mean, all of the current, it is a trend, basically. So what you're saying, it'll disappear like a fad. I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that, to be fair. Yeah, so we're going to be doing member call-ins now. So, Andre, where can people find you? Because I've got to kick you off a little bit here.
Yeah, no,
sorry.
Absolutely. No worries at all. You can find me over at Midnight's Edge. So just type that into YouTube, and that's where I'll be.
Excellent. And he's also on Twitter with the same handle that he has.
Yes,
just there. So do give him a follow. It may actually encourage him to be a little bit more active on Twitter, because he's not actually that active. So.
Yeah, no, I suck at Twitter.
Yeah, there you go. So give him a kick up the arse to be a little bit more motivated over on Twitter. But it's good to have you on, dude. It's been a while.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, it's been a while.
Stream, didn't I? So.
Yeah, you did. So of course I show up. I show up whenever opportunity permits.
Excellent stuff.
Well, have a great continued member stream.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'm. Are you around on Thursday? I might chuck you an invite to my birthday stream.
I may be. So yeah, absolutely. Do send me an invite, and I'll be honored to be there if possible.
Excellent. Cool. All right, dude. Yeah. I will. Right. I'll speak to you soon.
Excellent. All right. Take care. Bye.
Right. So what we're going to be doing now, ladies and gents, is dropping in and doing the member call-ins. So you have to be a member of the channel. So become a member of the channel. This is part of what I do here. Members drop in live doing this. I don't know what they're going to ask, I don't know what they're going to say or anything like that. It's only open to members of the channel for obvious reasons. For obvious reasons, basically. And we will chit-chat. It'll only be one question today, ladies and gents, because I don't know how long a list, because we were behind. We were behind from last week on Friday, so it'll only be one question today. And members of the channel can go and find that over on the community tab. So it'll be there in un momento. Please do not use the stream to interact with me. You have to use the platform that you click on through. It's first come, first served. It's only open for a relatively small amount of time, just because of the amount that gets backed up and things like that. So you also don't have to jump on and do the questions. It's just part of what makes, I don't know, these streams a little bit more interactive and a bit fun. So yeah. I think we got a lot of people jumping in quite late on this as a topic. So we're about an hour. We're an hour 15 minutes into it now. So we're quite well. We're done with the topic basically. So if you're watching this now, probably best to just start at the beginning of the stream. Watch it back. This will be on the channel afterwards as well. Cassie Anthony is just raging at no one because you're clearly a bell end. You're just too much of a coward to own it. That's all right, though. Own it as best you can, bud. Don't know you, not your bud. And own the fact that you believe I have my head up Trump's arse. No, No, I'm British. We're in England. Or you might not be, because if you were, maybe you'd be brave enough to come and see me in person. Probably not, because you're probably a bitch and probably a bit of a pussy. And I think what's comical about this is that this isn't actually Cassie. This would be the same individual called Benban, who may have thought that they were blocked, which they might have been done by the moderators. So then they just slide in and out of different accounts that they have. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. But cool. Good for you. Epic. Bye-bye. You sad, sad little cretin. Guys, if you want to do this member call-in, you do have to do it soon. I'm not going to be staying here for that long, so you have to jump on now. Okay, if you want to come on, you want to interact with me, this is the Friday that I missed. You need to do it soon. Yeah, it is there. Let me have a look. Yeah, no, it's there. Cool. It does all work. So you do have to come on soon, because otherwise I'm not going to be here for that long. My back hurts, and I will be going. So if I don't see anyone dropping on, I will be leaving. I'm sorry. We've got Marshmallow here. Again, like I said with everyone else as well, just to let you all know, if you want to drop in as a member to interact with me live, you don't have to have your camera on. In fact, sometimes it is better if you don't. It is also better if you have headphones in, because your mic will... me on the speakers that you have will then pick up on your microphone as well. So best to wear headphones, and you don't have to have your camera on either, just as a heads up to anyone who is somewhat concerned with that. But we've got Marshmallow here. I can see he's clambering to get some headphones on. So we will see what his one question is. Everyone will be nice, hopefully. You guys are normally pretty nice guys. So let's welcome Marshmallow. How are we all doing, good sir? Oh, you've shaved your head.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Are your headphones working? What are you doing?
No, they didn't work.
Ah, all right then. Never mind.
Yeah. I actually put in the chat. I wanted to have like a bit of a discussion, but maybe some other time instead of a question. But I just wanted to. I've noticed a trend. Especially amongst university sort of students, and it does come back.
No, what's the trend? You've said you've noticed the trend. You've not said what it is. What's the trend? Get everyone up to speed on your own thoughts.
Okay. Everyone's sort of glad that Trump's out of office and that Biden is in office.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the trend, and it's I just don't understand really, because I try to. It's like
why you don't understand why people are happy with him.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to get too political here. Anyway, we are obviously a movie channel.
Yeah.
But I think the broader stroke of it would be ultimately that people are happy. Because they believe someone is obviously better than someone else, and tend not to do their own research on individuals. They, are not aware that a lot of the things that people were claiming was going on that was obviously horrendous and inhumane is now going on under a different administration. There's so many things. It's just moronic behavior, quite frankly. But everyone always needs someone to hate and someone to love, and that's just the situation that's occurred, sadly.
Oh,
think about the UK, for instance. Currently, like if you're not in the UK, you're probably not aware of this, but we're supposed to have a two-party system: someone that you love and someone that you hate. Right? That's what it is. We don't have that at the moment. We've literally got one party. We've got the Conservatives in power, and then the Labour being yes men to the Conservatives. And think how fucked up that is. You literally have now a population of the British population going massively against anyone that's in politics, and that's awful. So it is actually quite good to have the opposing forces of someone that you can support and someone that you can hate in that regard, because people are tribalistic and they like to have that. I'm not saying it's right, but I mean, it's just moronic behavior overall, to be fair. It's just people doing a complete lack of research, a complete lack of research. Say it's the whole, someone was painted as a messiah, therefore everything they say must be true, rather than taking, it's like, it's the lack of critical thought, ultimately. It's critical thinking. It's going out and coming up with your own answers to things rather than just believing someone else. People don't do that. So yeah, it is what it is. Especially universities. Universities are rife for it. You've got no disrespect to anyone in university, but universities are a cesspool for very privileged people, generally speaking, sat there not needing to work, thinking that their woes are their own, the woes of the world, where realistically most people just want to, go out, earn a job, do a job, earn a bit of a living and come home, and they just don't care about anything else. They literally couldn't give a shit. They're not activists. They don't care. They just want as easy a ride through life as possible, which is what the vast majority of people actually care about. Whereas university people don't, because they're all about, yes, I need to be part of this. In fact, I was walking through Oxford. So I live quite close to Oxford. I was walking through Oxford on like one of the first weekends I could. And they were doing I can't remember what the march was for, but it was some bloody march. And then at the end of it, they were like, and don't forget to, follow BLM, and don't forget to follow gay rights, and also this one, and then this one, and then this one. And there's no issue with following those things, but it's the fact that they're doing one big activist thing for one thing, and then they're reeling off every single other thing that they possibly could. And you're like, well, that's basically what you are. You are a career activist at this point, which I just think is sad.
I'm glad you said that about critical thinking. This brings me like I've got one more question. It's not even a question, but question.
Okay. People don't like the politics, though. I'm not going to lie. So we do need to get shuffling on with it. I don't even like the politics. These streams are good fun normally. I don't care about talking politics. Couldn't give a fuck right now.
Okay. I think I'll leave it there then.
No. You're here. Say it. It's important. I'm just saying it's also for other people watching. It's just a note. I don't generally want to involve myself too much in politics. If you've seen, I hide my face a lot more now. I'm not talking about things anymore. I couldn't care less. I'm just done with it. I don't give a shit, because you got those little cunts like fucking Ben Bam, Cassie, little cunt chops dropping in, going, you love this and you love that. I'm just done with it. Like, I'm just done with it. I'm done talking about Ray Fish and all this fucking noncy little shit. I couldn't care less. I'm done. I literally am so done. So it's just to throw my hands out and go, anyone else that wants to talk about politics, just don't. But you're here, so please do, because it's important, and you are the only member here at the moment. And it's important that you feel like, that you're getting what you came here to do. I think that's actually important. So please.
Okay. So it's about the mask situation in the UK.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So, because I'm back in London now. So I was everywhere I go, there's like, you have to wear a mask. A mask is a mandatory requirement. So I went shopping for Westfields, and they've got like facial recognition cameras and all that stuff there. So I was like, in my head, I'm constantly debating, because I look at everyone. Some people don't wear the mask. Some people wear the mask, but they're only covering they're not covering their face. Yeah. Some people have their mask, but they're like down here. Some people are eating as well. So in my head, it's like, okay, so if it's a mandatory thing, like you have to wear a mask, but is it why doesn't it apply to? Well, does it apply to absolutely everyone? Because the mask is supposed to protect us, but like children don't have to wear it. You get people.
Yeah, they don't actually. Yeah, on the government website, they actually don't. I think it's under 12, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. And then you get people that are exempt as well, but then it really makes me question like the validity of wearing a mask, and is it more like it's like tribalism again? But I also
well, I mean, so. I mean, I don't want to. I'm not a scientific expert. I don't want to get into the actual ins and outs of it. Like I genuinely don't know. I myself, I may not look exempt because I'm a big strapping young fellow. I'm not young, hence the fucking grey beard. But I am actually exempt. There are many lists of exemptions on the UK government website, which can make you exempt. And I've had so many run-ins with security. Like I was in, it was in Reading. I think it was in Reading. I can't remember. Maybe it was in Reading. I can't remember. Walked in one door. Guy was like, "You got a mask?" I was like, "Nope." He was like, "Are you?" I was like, "Yep." No worries, absolutely fine, not an issue. So I keep walking through, obviously, this big, mall, as it were. And I go up a flight of stairs, and this guy like comes up behind me. And he's like, "You got a mask?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "You need one?" I was like, "No, I don't." He was like, "Were you exempt then?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, you need, like a lanyard." I was like, "No, I don't." I said, "Not at all." Perfectly polite, perfectly courteous. And he was like, "Yes, you do." I was like, "I'm just going to stop you there." I was like, "No, I don't." And then obviously reeled off all the spiel about it. And I think the problem is that unfortunately you have so many people that just take it on face value and they say, "Yep, no, you absolutely do need it." Like there are people who suffer from anxiety, right? Like there's so many different exemptions that you have that are perfectly valid reasons for not actually having to wear a mask. Under the UK law, this is what's important to note. Anyone from the States that is listening to this and is probably thinking this is all bollocks. This is under UK law, so doesn't pertain to you, and unfortunately, your opinion of it would be uninformed. But there's many lists of exemptions under UK law. But the problem is there's so many the narrative that you hear. So over like tannoys in shopping centres and things like that is you must wear a mask. And then they list off a whole bunch of other things. And then they go, but some people are exempt and those people may not be visible. So please be respectful. But they've already listed off the very, very harsh and stern things to start off. And they list it in like if you actually listen to it, it's very, very quite the language used is very psychological. So it's very much you know what it is basically. Like you can hear what it's trying to do. So yeah, I mean, it is tribalism, absolutely. Like I was walking through Sainsbury's once. I was walking through Sainsbury's and I went down one aisle and I heard some dick down the other aisle. And again, I am exempt. You'll hear me, just to get into it, like I don't need to tell you why I'm fucking exempt, but you'll hear me very, very occasionally, especially on a live stream where I go, and I have to breathe in quite a lot. It's a respiratory exemption. And I'm walking down this other aisle and this fucking guy says some bollocks and I'm just like, right. So I just turn around and march down the other aisle. I'm like, excuse me, sir. Would you mind repeating that? And he goes, what? Bearing in mind, this guy's got a mask, not covering his nose, just covering his mouth. And I was like, I'm just aware I heard something. I was like, I wondered if you wanted to repeat it to me because I heard you say it. Like I didn't know if you wanted to have the interaction face to face. And he's like, well, you need to wear one, don't you? And I was like, no, I don't actually. I was like, well, also how massively perceptive of you to just apparently know that I'm medically fine and medically sound. I was like, that's very presumptuous, but good on you. Like maybe we could use you in a hospital. That'd be fantastic. That's quite the superpower. And anyway, so he said some other bollocks, and I just turned around and said, well, also as well, just as a word to the wise, like it's probably important not to say these kind of things in public, like out loud. Maybe keep it to yourself, especially when you're wearing this fucking thing and it's not covering your nose because you just look like a fucking cunt. And then I just walked off. So, but it's definitely tribalistic. And it's that sort of, it's people feeling like they have to, even though they are exempt as well, bearing in mind. And then they feel resentment to other people when they don't see them wearing them. And then it becomes this sort of, well, they resent themselves almost for not doing it, even though they can not wear one if they so choose. Yeah. So yeah, there's my thoughts on it all, I guess.
It's kind of strange because it's like I kept thinking about peer pressure. Like at school, you get taught about peer pressure, and like you like at school, you'll have groups of people like putting pressure on you to like try smoking or try drinking or try this or try that. There's a lot of parallels between that and what's happening right now, and it's just how can this go on? How can we sustain?
Well, it is unsustainable. It's unsustainable as an economic output. It's unsustainable as a civilized output, like art, especially in the UK. Again, this is very UK centric and very UK specific. But even our pavements, our sidewalks are not built for people to keep 2 meters apart. We have the most fucking tiniest pavements you've ever seen in your life, ladies and gents. They're not made for it. And you'll see people walking. I'm not fucking walking in the road with my dog to avoid some twat that's out in the open and doesn't want to be near someone. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it. And people may think that that's really disrespectful and stuff. But sorry, I've taught my dog not to walk in the fucking road. So I am not going to walk in the fucking road, right? Thereby, one, risking me and my dog's life. And secondly, I'm doing all the training I've done for him for what? Probably a year? A year of people going to keep this up and then it's all going to go back to normal? Nah, fuck off. I'm just not doing it. It's utter nonsense. You're outside. They're like, if you're outside, you really don't care. Like, I'm not going to avoid you if you're outside. You can suck it.
Okay. Oh, thank you. Last thing. I have to send you an email regarding the film recommendation.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't seen the film. I've been busy, but yeah, I saw it.
I just highly recommend watching that because it gives you a new perspective on civilization.
Yeah, no, I will check it out. I absolutely will. I think other people jumped in with that as a recommendation. Was like, yeah, this is cool. So I will check it out, 100%.
All right.
Dude,
I'll try and keep it less political next time, man.
The thing is, try and be a bit more upbeat. Try and think about, nicer, cooler things. Like, the world's shit enough. Like I like taking the piss out of Batwoman. Why? Because it's actually fun. Like, it's funny. Yeah. People are like, oh, you're so angry. No, I'm not. Like, when I watch Batwoman, it's hilarious. The reviews, it's funny for me. Try and be a bit more upbeat.
All right.
Like, you will be happier, genuinely, because the world's a shit place enough as it is. But you need to find good things elsewhere, basically.
All right. Oh,
there's no point labouring the point on basically what we all know is absolute bollocks. Okay. That's what I would say.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Cool. Take care, mate.
And you.
Bye. Right, how we all did. If we had someone drop in as a member, we've got no other members waiting to call in. So we got Tancred Bay. Tancred Bay? I think that's how you say that. I'm sorry if I butchered that. If any members are here that do actually want to call in, I'm aware some people said that doesn't work on their tablets for some weird reason. Don't know why that is. Sorry, not overly sure. If you head on over to I'm pretty sure I did say this, but sorry if not. The community tab on the channel page will have a link, and it says one question, and then it's a StreamYard link. So if you want to join the conversation, head on over to the community tab. You do have to be a member, obviously. That little that bell end dropped back in again under a different name, thinking that they were going to call me out on it. It says, so you call out the tribalism of the Trump worshipping MAGA cultists of the fandom menace as well, then, or just the other side? No, everyone. Tribalism is everywhere. So, haha, gotcha. No, you didn't. You fucking moron. There's no gotcha. You can't get me. Because, again, your entire argument is predicated on the fact that you think you're right and what you're saying is right. And it's wrong. Because your entire argument and all points that you make is predicated on a preconceived notion you have of me that I've already denied. You utter pleb. Just as a word to the wise, you do have to be a little bit quicker than that to fuck with me. I'm British. We created dry wit and sarcasm. You fucking douche canoe. All right? Anyway. Dear oh dear. Started watching your Alien Isolation series, Mr. H. Seems to be, it's fun, but also terrifying. The Game Plus expansion is in the Epic Game Store for free again. I hearted someone's comment that said that the other day. Absolutely. Please, 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 please do go and get that. You will really, really enjoy that game. It's so, so good. It really is. And if it's for free, guys, you can't get better than for free, can you? Let's be honest. All Oh, yes. Could you please cover the aliens fire team screenshots? You can easily see them on Twitter. And there was an emoji there, but it's just come through as something else. Yeah, I will check it out. I absolutely will check it out. But we do have a brand new. We've got a brand new member dropping in, Jim Diesel. So I'm just going to give him a bit of warning before I actually hop him into the chit chat. Because I've done this before where they've been sat there waiting, and I go, "Hi, they're in," and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?" So I've said his name now, so he knows he's about to be chucked in. How you doing?
Cheers, thanks very much for that.
Well, I've got to do it.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm waiting at the minute for the. I've dropped my missus off at hospital, so I'm waiting on a phone call for to go and pick her up from hospital.
Serious, I hope. That's quite late to be going to the hospital.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, I dropped her off this afternoon, and I think they're doing some scans and stuff. So yeah, she bashed her head. And as I say that, I get a message through on the phone. But I've got a quick question for you.
Yes.
I've been watching all my back catalogue of films from like the 80s and the early 90s. And what I've noticed is all the latest films at the minute, everything, it just seems like we're creatively bankrupt
rehashing it?
or rehashing. Everything's a rehash. And there's a thing with music, isn't it? There's like music at the minute, there's only so many bars, isn't there, that you can create. And I've noticed that there isn't any good music being created at the minute as well.
Honestly, Jim, you're joining the crowd of old men waving their sticks down the road at kids going, "Back in my day." This is what it is.
Yeah, but the other thing is as well is you go back and watch the films, even from the 70s and the early 80s, even some of the TV series. And like Star Trek, for instance, and stuff, everything's diverse. I mean, I watched a couple of films the other day. There was black characters in there. There was strong female characters in there from the 80s.
Well, Alien, Sarah Connor, so good.
Yeah, exactly. Aliens is ideal, isn't it? You've got the black Apone Sergeant Major in there. You've got the Spanish girl, haven't you?
But it's not riled up as the sort of the big thing. And funny enough, there was so on the release of the Shang-Chi trailer, there was a chap on Twitter that was basically saying, "Oh, it's so good. Us Asians are finally, getting the rise in Hollywood." It's like, I mean, have you heard of Jackie Chan, mate? Have you heard of Bruce Lee? Have you heard of Jet Li? Like, there's just so many names you could reel off. It's like, come on, like, you're just an idiot. Like, it's unreal.
Yeah. It's absolute, and that brings it again. Enter the Dragon. You got the black fella in there, and like you said, and then you got it. Just spins me out at the minute the way that this world is going. But that was my that was my quick question to you, because I think I'm going to have to.
Yes, no, please.
I'm going to have to jump out, mate. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining either way. All right, appreciate it, dude.
Great channel, by the way. Yeah, and
thank you.
I watch your other one as well, your car one as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Epic.
Tops.
Good man.
Tops,
cool.
Anyway,
appreciate it. I hope all is well. Anyway, I hope all is well. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Cheers. Thanks very much, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.
All right. Cheers, dude. Well, that was nice. I see. This is what I like. These call-ins are epic. I do love these call-ins. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Pixel Pete dropping in a moment. We just got one super chat to chuck in here from Comrade Commissar Yuri. It says, "H, we need an old man waving a stick member sticker now. I need to create some member stickers specifically for members of the channel. I will get on that. I just need to figure out like the sizes and stuff. If anyone can make them for me, let me know, because it's way off for me anyway." So Pixel Pete, we will chuck him in now. Here he is with no camera today. How's it going?
No camera.
No.
Too tired.
Too tired. God, come on.
Very tired. I only got back from Coventry yesterday, so I'm knackered.
Oh, that's not good.
The paintball last week, airsoft this weekend. I'm absolutely knackered.
Nice.
So,
very, very nice.
Was it fun? That's why I haven't. It's always fun.
Good.
I'm just an old man trying to keep up with 20-year-olds, so I've got to work twice as hard.
Well, with paintball, you don't have to. You just shoot them. It's all good.
Still got to get near them.
Range.
Not in paintball. Airsoft maybe, but not paintball. How are you anyway? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm all right. I felt rough as sandpaper on Friday. Absolutely awful.
I was watching.
Yeah, honestly, so bad. It's like one of those moments like it just sort of hits you and you get like hot, cold flashes. You're like, no, I'm real bad right now. I need to sort this out. So I was like, I can't stay. Like I have to leave. So yeah, not good. But no, I'm much better today. I did my run and stuff like that today, so I'm feeling pretty decent.
I'm gonna steal that douche canoe from you.
Please do.
Brilliant. That was
Please
brilliant.
do. Douche
I've
canoe.
Never heard that.
Twat
I've never
waffle,
heard that. I'm using that.
There you go. There's loads of things you could. Yeah.
I just thought it was class. Anyway.
Oh dear.
It's going to be. You probably know the film. It's going to be about Mortal Kombat.
Oh yes, go on then. What do you think?
I'm about 99.999% exactly the same as what you almost parroted what I said after I finished watching it.
Okay.
Because the wife was watching it with me, and
did she like it more than you?
No, she thought it was dull as hell.
Ah, shame.
She's just way she's hard to please. She's a tiresome woman. She's hard to please. No, get rid of Cole Young. Stop make why they made Goro into a bitch. I have no idea.
I really didn't like that. That was a shame. That was a massive shame. That one.
Kano blew my mind. Every scene
funny.
was brilliant. The down low kick was. I was in tears. That I've got, like I said before, when I first came on, I've got it next door, the arcade. So
yes,
the AI is so cheap, you just end up doing it anyway. But no, that's really. I just sort of wanted to. I've been trying to find out if they get a sequel, what they're actually going to do. And I know you did a. Did you do a video on it?
Done 2 videos now. So there was comments from Greg Russo, and then there was some comments today by the actual director. It already hinted that they're gonna have Noob Saibot. Already hinted that they'll have the actual tournament, for a change as well. So be
I just thought this one. It seemed like the next film is the one they wanted to make, but had to make this one. That's how it seemed to play out.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's just the way it was sort of leading up. It was like they wanted to tell a story, and I do know. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on it, but the Cole Young situation was Warner Brothers executives.
Apparently,
going in, getting in.
Yeah, well, I don't know. So I don't know whether it was Warner Brothers because it's made by New Line. They're the production company.
Maybe New Line then. But it's supposed to be. He's supposed to represent us as the audience.
Yeah,
that's
it's
what
a point of view character.
That's what they're trying to get across. But he can't act for shit.
No, so
he
bad.
Just can't. He's dull as hell.
So bad. Yeah, real bad. But people say he's really good in. Is it Into the Badlands or something like this?
Is that who it is? I
he's in there, but he's a supporting role in that, and apparently he's good in that. So he's more of a supporting role rather than someone.
I remember watching the first series. It didn't ring a bell. Maybe it's in the second series. Yeah. It's just I feel like it was just it was good. Could have been better. It could have been much better. It was such. I'm watching it through and I'm thinking, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Oh, now you're
going to tell me
why you're doing this.
That's the problem.
I know that's the daft thing. I still quite enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But the fatalities, brilliant. That my brain's gone blank now. Kung Lao, his hat on
Natara. Epic.
Was brilliant.
Absolutely epic.
Jax's head smash. Was class.
Reiko, so good.
I am on the sideline of did I like that or did I want him to punch him into the pit?
Some people have said that, but
I am sort of 50,
I think I'm happy with it because if he didn't, I think you'd be like it on either Raw, but either is satisfying if you just take it as is.
I suppose. And the Scorpion right at the very end when he reappears, all the hairs on my back just went up. It just sprung up.
That's the thing. So when he appears and says that line, it's not bad in the movie because it's like, yes, finally, like, God damn.
And you get that little about 5 seconds of the main theme kick back in. Where they remix it. And now I can watch that again and again, just that little segment. I thought that was great.
Yeah,
but like I said, I just have this funny feeling the next film is the one they want to make. But they were made to make this one.
Yeah,
I don't know where I'm getting it from that film, but that's just how it seems to be playing out. Because they obviously want Johnny Cage in. The only reason I don't think he was in, and everyone might go, well, he said the white guy thing. I think it's because Kano, basically, they made the star of them, unwillingly made the star of the movie, and they just didn't want two of them. Because that's what it would have been. Johnny Cage would have been Kano. That'd have been
I agree. I agree. The quips and things, it wouldn't have worked. Like I agree. I do actually agree.
No.
Yeah.
So, no. That was it. Just wanted to get me across.
All right. Cool. Excellent.
Really well, if I don't, enjoy your birthday.
Thank you.
This week.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you'll be going out. I'm sure, having a wonderful time.
Yeah, I've got. Well, I'm doing. I have some plans. Yes.
I know you got to. Don't you have to book some restaurants and stuff at the moment still? I know we.
Not all of them. So when I went to Oxford for the day, didn't have to book anything there. That was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah, we just the missus is next month, and we've just had to book so we get 2 hours.
Yeah, So at some restaurants you do have to book. Some you can just turn up and just see. But best to book just in case, to be honest.
No. So yeah, enjoy yourself, mate. Have a good one.
All right, appreciate it, dude. Have a good evening. Yeah,
no worries.
Take care, man. We got Decosta coming on in a second, so I'm just gonna say his name, obviously, so he knows. Marshmallow dropped on with a super chat and says, "I spent 70% of the film waiting for Scorpion." Awesome. I think most people did, to be fair, and that's why I was like, yes, super cool when he did turn up. Side note, if anyone didn't know what that exchange was, it's my birthday on Friday. I'm not streaming on Friday, which I normally would. I'm streaming on Thursday instead. It'll be a scheduled stream. Drop in, hang out with me, because I'm not going to be streaming on my birthday. Yeah, I'm going to be doing other things. It doesn't mean I don't want to hang out with you on my birthday. I'm still going to be making videos, still going to be interacting with you that way. But yeah, so we've got Decosta dropping in now. How are we doing, Decosta, sir?
How's it going? You okay, Mr. Edge? No, sir.
I'm good.
No, sir. Please, no, sir. For this.
All right, sorry. We'll be more informal. All right. How's it going? You're right.
Yeah, all good, man. All good. Last time I was watching your stream, I noticed you were talking about Mortal Kombat, so I refrained myself from watching it and came back today. So my question is actually, has to do with Mortal Kombat, man. I'm really excited for the movie, Basically, just wanted to know what is your favorite bit of the movie and why,
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, the first 7 minutes. Have you seen it or not? Have you seen it?
Yes. Of course, man.
The first 7 minutes are absolutely fantastic, but it does feel like a different movie. But I still love that. Like, that's great. First 7 minutes are absolutely awesome. And then just that final bit where Scorpion finally appears, that whole fight, great. Really, really cool. And then the closing credits with the theme song. Awesome.
Is Scorpion the do you like this theme song? Do you enjoy this one?
I quite liked it. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Did you not like it?
I liked it as well. Yeah, I actually liked it as well. Many of my friends said they didn't like it. That it was a murder on the last Techno Syndrome. But I was like, nah, it's actually good, man.
No, I quite liked that. I thought it was good. Yeah, and I thought it was good. I thought it worked. Yeah. Oh, that's a shame. Is
Scorpion the? I know I only have one question, but honestly, the bits of the movie you most like are the ones with Scorpion. I gotta ask, man, is Scorpion the character you play with on the game? Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much. But I also think they framed it really well. Like that first 7 minutes is the best part of the game. So the best part of the film. So you are waiting for him to turn back up again. Like you're spending the whole, because that's the hook. That's what gets you into the film, right? They open with it. It's so it's probably where they spent most of the money as well. Like they spent a large portion of money setting that up. It's probably some of the most well shot as well. Some of the most well choreographed. Like that, all of those fights are probably some of the most well choreographed in the film. So it really hooks you. So it makes you invested in that moment. Like you really want to see him come back. Well, I did anyway. So yeah,
but it does make that beginning and that end seem like it came from a different movie, man. You know?
Oh yeah, no,
integrate those scenes into the whole movie bit like 100%. It wasn't done 100%, but it was fun. That's no doubt, definitely no doubt. And another thing, I see many people saying about Johnny Cage not appearing because of this and because of that. This basically something that most people don't know, right? So Johnny Cage and Kung Lao have very similar personalities. So if you had Johnny Cage and Kung Lao on screen at the same time, it probably wouldn't have worked, which seems like a good reason to take Kung Lao now out of the game, put Johnny Cage in the second one, and then on the third one explode with the tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's true. But also Kano was pretty much that character as well. Similar, very quippy, very sort of there with it. I enjoyed
Cabal as well. I was so surprised Cabal was in the movie as well. It's so hard.
Yeah, he was pretty good
on screen, man. He was so
good.
They
did his movements. The movements were really decent as well. I thought they nailed him. Like
it was. Yeah, definitely. I agree.
Yeah. No, it was decent. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Anyway, I'm glad it wasn't. Just me.
It's nah, man. I think people just went into this film having ideas about the original one they watched and preconceived plots and stuff, and they didn't expect this, you know. But to be honest with you, when the guy says he's going to do a trilogy, I knew for sure that he wouldn't put the tournament in the first movie. Come on, he's not gonna put the best thing there, you know. So
well, you got to leave something for the future as well. Having the tournament move forwards is quite a good thing to sort of hook in for a sequel.
I think that even if they don't make like enough money to put the second or the third one in the cinema, I do think that one of the streaming channels will grab that and say, you know what, we'll invest in that, and you release this to our platform, like something like Netflix. I mean, I don't know how it works along those lines. I'm just having, just an idea out of the top of my head.
Yeah, it's dependent how they did the licensing, but yeah, it could be a possibility. Could be. They may have only bought one, but then New Line is happy to make it with other people. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, for sure. No, cool.
Yeah, nice. Thank you, Mr. Edge. It's nice talking to you, man.
No, thank you for dropping on. Thank you. We'll be doing this again this week anyway, so hopefully you drop back on then as well.
For sure, man. I'll think of some new questions.
All right, dude. Cool. I'll speak to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Cheers, dude. Bye. Right then, ladies and gents. So that about rounds up our stream for this evening. If you want to follow me over on my second channel, please do. It's a car channel. It's called Car Nonsense. There's a link right there in the chat, as well as down below in the description box. You'll see it. It's called Car Nonsense. I'm rebuilding a Nissan Pulsar GTI-R over there. Just to let you all know what's going on this week, I'll be streaming on Wednesday. So I'm streaming Wednesday, not tomorrow. I'm streaming Wednesday. I normally stream Friday again, but Friday is actually my birthday, which I did just have a super chat from Andy saying, happy birthday, Miss H, have a good one, mate. Thank you so much. Bit premature, but thank you so much either way. Friday is my birthday. It's actually on that day, but I won't be there. I won't be streaming. I'm streaming on Thursday instead. It'll all be set up. It'll just be birthday stream. Join me, that sort of thing. It'd be a nice little hangout. I think it'd be good fun. So that's what's going on with streams this week, Wednesday and Thursday. Thank you so much. You can support the channel a few ways. You can become a member, and you can do what these guys have just done here. You can drop on and actually talk to me live. Like interact with me. You don't, again, just like Decosta did, you don't have to be on camera or anything like that. Same as Pixel Pete there. You don't have to be on camera. And as you could see from the chat as well, everyone's very, very nice, very, very kind. No one is derogatory or anything like that. Everyone's, really nice. So support the channel, become a member, join in and do these things here on the channel. Failing that, well, look, head on over to my second channel. It's pretty cool. Cheers there, guys. Hopefully I'm not going to cut myself off here, but cheers. Take care.